Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Happy Friday to you and your family. Taking a quick look here at Gala, seeing what's going on. Obviously going to check back in on this double bottom pattern. And obviously, if you recall, I sent this out on my playout chart yesterday as well. We have this falling wedge breakout followed by a inverse head and shoulders pattern with a retest of this most recent high as a low. They're all very, very good signs here. So majority of the signs here are still pointing upwards, but I don't want to get ahead of too ahead of ourselves here and make sure that we don't get wrecked. Because again, if you see this most recent high here, this could work as a resistance level here soon. So there's still a bit of ground to cover before we can expect a breakout. But I do think that the worst is over here for the most part. We should have the bottom in, pending Bitcoin doesn't drop sub 26,000. Okay, I have to give that disclosure on the majority of altcoins unless they're surging. When you got a coin like this that does have a double bottom, we had a triple bottom from BNB here recently. Should have taken off by now, but it's still kind of stuck on stupid. So keep in mind, there's definitely a lot of ground to cover here still. But we're going to talk about what needs to happen next in order to see that happen, and that what kind of trade you might want to look at if you're going to be taking a long or a short right now. Okay. So if you're new to the channel, greatly appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, follow, the whole 9 yards if you could, please. Just greatly appreciate that. And then, of course, too, if you want to become a better trader and join in on some of our amazing trades here, we took some healthy profits from a lot of short positions here recently with AVAX, Lever, PHP, Render. These are all coins that we took as a community, of course. If you're interested in that, I have my stats on our Twitter here. But more importantly, there are private trading videos there as well to teach you everything that I know about my trading skills, if you will. All right. Hopefully you can learn something here today, of course. But if you want a little bit more hands-on with my trading university, CryptoCash.tech is a site linked down below. Furthermore, what we're going to look at here with Gala is a couple things here. Why don't we go ahead and take a quick peek? First of all, at some moving averages, we can see the 200 is trailing behind. We're still below the 50-day, and we're under the 20 as well. So again, these are not confirming factors letting us know that a long position is 100% viable, while it's not like 100% telling that the moving averages are just going to strictly hold the price action in place. It's common for them to do so initially. Okay, we saw this instant rejection here off the 50, and we haven't been able to retest that one yet. And a lot of times when you see the price action come up, again, it gets rejected off key levels here a lot of times. Okay, so keep in mind with us being below that, a closure above would be fantastic. Okay, and it's hard to really see the 20-day SMA, but it's right there at about 1.4 cents even. It's right there at 0.382 on Fibonacci. So as I mentioned yesterday, if you're gonna take some long trades right now, which I believe, what is it? I think we had somebody take a long trade recently. Yep, look at that entry, 1.29 from Providence there. Fantastic long, by the way. While I do not recommend 50x leverage, it's still a very, very good trade. But what I'm getting at here is this situation we have right now is that we're stuck underneath some key level resistances. So if you're going to take some trades, make sure you have some targets that are below or prior to those Fibonacci retracement levels. Because the best way to take profit is to set a target just below a resistance or a Fibonacci level or the inverse if you're coming down. Okay, so again, different strategies, but just something to kind of think about. All right, enough about that. Let's talk about what's going on here. MACD has gone flat. That's pretty consistent or normal when the price action does what it does here or has done recently. We can also see that the RSI is below 50, with the money flow index kind of averaging itself out sideways and down. So the truth is here, there's not a lot of great signs on the daily telling us that we want to take a long and it's going to explode. But the proof is here a little bit more so on the smaller time frames, and that's again, the longer you spend on the smaller time frames, the more it translates into the daily and the larger time frame. So what I'm getting at here is this recent decrease. In fact, let's look at an example of what happened previously. This last little uptrend here, we saw a decrease here, correct? You can see that descending trend where it created lower highs. Once it broke that lower high pattern, came up to retest its most recent high, came back down, retest the most recent high, and blasted straight through it. Okay, so it's a very standard procedure here. You get a descending trend break, you get range bound activity, followed by a retest of most recent highs. So what we're seeing right now is we see this descending trend that we've broken. We retested our most recent high. Now that's a new low. That does imply that the likelihood of the price continuing higher from here is okay. Again, this is kind of just one of those standard breakout type of patterns that you can see that is more likely to increase. again, Bitcoin continues to screw around, this coin will probably start to fizzle out. But if Bitcoin can just kind of remain sideways here, with Bitcoin dominance being higher and Bitcoin price being stable, we are likely to see some altcoins start to surge, such as this coin. So I'm speculating we're going to see an increase here in value. We're now up over the 20-day SMA, which is fantastic. We still have some resistance levels above us. Keep that in mind. We're averaging out at about 50 on the RSI too. So by no means is this like an absolute ball buster here. Like we're ready to rock and roll. But I can tell you that I'm more long biased than short biased at this point, based on the 4-hour time frame, looking pretty forgiving. We can also see we overextended ourselves to the downside there, and that we are going sideways here now. It's a positive sign as well. Let's take a look at the hourly. I'm curious about the Ichimoku cloud. We were below the cloud last I reviewed this, and we are now back up above. So this is a fantastic sign too. So it implies that we have some support below us here. While there's not like a tremendous amount of confirmation that you should be taking along, we still have 2 out of 3 confirming factors letting us know that we're on the right side of the tracks. Okay. So again, you add all that stuff together, it gives us a slightly larger probability of the price going up than down. Again, it really just depends on your strategy. I do not think you should buy now and try to sell at 10 cents. Okay? I think that's a little egregious. But at this point right now, if you have an entry here, for example, and you consider taking profit somewhere in the range of, say, 1.38 or 1.4, that would be appropriate, because those are areas in which we should likely see retested before our next potential retracement, which again, we could very well see the price reject at 0.382 here. Those are where the moving averages are kind of hanging out, and that would be a strong resistance range. So just know we got a lot of good options here for this coin, but taking a super large long position may not be appropriate just yet. Again, we'll continue to cover this and review it, but for right now, I think tighter targets, smaller position sizing, and of course, smaller leverage as well is most appropriate. So that's kind of where we're at here for Gala. Definitely looking good here. It's got my thumbs up for the smaller time frames. The micros are much better looking than the macro. But again, a few more days of good looking micro turns into a decent macro play, right? So we'll see when we get there. All right, I hope this made sense. If you could please comment below, let me know your thoughts. Obviously, are you long, are you short? What do you plan to do with this coin? If you also want to stay abreast, jump on over to our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I send out playout charts like this one here frequently. In fact, we sent out a playout chart for Gala in the recent past. I think that was day before yesterday, if I recall. But this is all available on my Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Again, you got playout charts here too for those who prefer the Discord communication aspect of things. I just love this meme here. It is Friday, right? Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks again. Take care.